Hey guys, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. I wanted to make a video, and this video has to do with fear. It has to do with anxiety. It has to do with mirages, illusions that we tell ourselves. And it also has to do with programming. I'm going to try to make it quick, but it's going to be powerful. Now, with all that said, that I said the video is going to be about, I want to start with letting you know like how humans really think, for the most part. Not every human, but the people that think outside of the box are very exclusive. These people are the ones that they wear flashy clothes, they stand out, they're called celebrities and stuff like that. But for the most part, most humans, they want to fit in so that they're not a sore thumb. They're not sticking out to everybody else. And it's because of fear. It's because of anxiety, all these things that I mentioned in the beginning. Because they think that if they stick out, the dread there is the attention that they get. And I think it goes, personally, my opinion is, I think it stems from a place of spiritual warfare, going all the way back to the childhood, of not having enough self-esteem or confidence in oneself, being mocked or made fun of as a child growing up, or seeing other people getting teased, and in turn you fall in line with programming. I don't want to be a victim. I want to fit in. I don't want to be bullied. Everybody, all the cool kids are wearing this. Okay, I want to be cool. I want to fit in. Anything to fit in. I don't want people to make fun of me, etc. But let's think about this. Let's unpack this. Like I'm speaking to adults now. Being made fun of, like, it's an opinion of the person. You got to really think this through. This video takes your critical thinking. So, being made fun of, that's what people are scared of. Like, is that it? Or is it violence, like physical violence, that you feel like that person is going to portray on you if you stick out as a sore thumb or whatever, in a good way or in a bad way? Let me put it in a different type of way. People are so programmed into fitting in and not creating waves, or not rocking the boat, so to speak, that when things completely go against logic and common sense, they say shut up. They stay silent. They just go with the program, even if it just contradicts life itself. And we saw that with so many different epidemics that we've gone through, and so many things that make zero sense. Castrating a child, as an example, like dismembering a child and telling the child that it has enough wit to make a decision, a life-altering decision for the rest of that child's life, that they can bear that responsibility to make that assessment with their finite wisdom and understanding of just anything at all, right? Taking that as an example, so many people stayed silent, watching something as abominable as that. There's so many other things that was taking place in these past few years that's abominable. I'm just choosing that. Men going into women's bathrooms, another abomination. So many people think in their heart that's wrong, but they don't dare say it out loud. For what reason? Fear, anxiety, fitting in, going with the program, aligning with the values of the majority, so to speak. And that ties into the mark of the beast. That ties into the last days. I can go into the direction of talking right now about the chip and how so many people are going to get it because they're just going to want to fit in, etc. I'm not sure that I want to do that right now. I want to stay on course with what I set out to do, which was to expose how everybody's so programmed and how you have to first recognize it in order to do something about it. First, recognize that most people, I didn't say all, I said most people, they fear rejection. They fear like people's opinions, or they want to be liked, accepted, approved of, so much so that they don't stand out in the least. Their voice, they change it according to how they feel like the person in front of them would want them to look or be. Their fashion, their taste, everything is accommodated according to a human being that's in front of them. And now if we take that and we unpack that and we want to understand that a little bit more, the psychology behind it, we will see that the human in front of them, what can they really do for you? What do they possess that you want to own so badly? What is it? I mean, who are we trying to please here? And if you get to please them, what do you get in return? A smile, a thumbs up, a pat in the back? You're my friend now? Okay, at what cost? Is it worth it to give up yourself, your true value, your true self, in order for them to smile at you, wink at you, and say you're part of my clique now? What makes them so special to create a clique that now they say you're special enough to join it because you became something you're not? So now you can join their clique. You see how perverted this becomes when you do critical thinking, when you really unpack it. So what holds people back from being outspoken? What holds people back from stepping out and doing things? Something as small as picking up a napkin in the middle of a gym floor. Somebody threw it. They were bold enough to throw it. And now everybody's just walking over the napkin, right? And I hate that, by the way. I hate littering. I hate people that litter. I don't hate people. I hate the act. But the point is that some people would look at that and say, I'm going to gather too much attention if I stoop down and pick this litter up and throw it away. People are going to look at me. And so let's unpack that. Okay? People have eyeballs. They look at everybody and everything. So, no, but you don't understand. They're going to judge me. Okay? So what comes from judgment? What happens? Whether they like you or hate you, whether they judge you and criticize you or gossip and slander you, what happens to you personally? It's a frame of mind that the person that's doing it, they may be warp-minded, and you want to please a warp-minded individual. You want to stoop down to their level so that they could you could appease them at their low level of living. Understand this. Most people, a lot of people out there, they're living below their potential, below the means of what they're capable of doing because they don't want to stand out for their potential. There's a lot of singers out there that they have amazing voices, but they won't go out in public and sing lest anybody notice their gift, and then they get all this attention. Unpack that for me. What are you scared of? I'm scared of success. I'm scared of failure. I'm scared of people rejecting me. I'm scared of people liking it. I'm scared of the fame. I'm scared of what? Okay, there's a whole lot to unpack there, but if you do critical thinking, you unpack each and every compartment that you go to, and you go to that door, and you open up that door, you will see eventually you'll open up enough doors to see that there's nothing to fear. There's a saying that says there's nothing to fear but fear itself, right? But truly, I tell you this, sincerely, I see this, I study psychology in university. I'm a Christian. I'm not a pastor per se, but I could be. Perhaps I will be one day. Never know. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to pop these illusions and mirages that people play in their imaginations of what will happen if I step out. What will happen if I actually dare to step out of their grid, this programming that tells me I can't do this, or otherwise I'm going to gather attention. And so if you do, so what? Everybody every now and again does do something that's out of the norm, and they do gather that attention. What happens at that point? Because I'm sure that you have, at some point or another, stepped out and done something that you gathered attention. What happened at that point that was so dreadful that you never want to return ever again to that area? I'll tell you that my opinion on the matter is that it's a lot of spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare has to do with feelings. The devil uses a lot of entanglement on the inside, makes you feel shy, reserved, fearful, anxious. All of these things can be rebuked. All of these things can be pushed out of your life if you just tell it to leave. I made many videos like this before. If you pray for boldness and courage, God will grant you those things. But it takes this acknowledging of the lie that's right before you in order to be able to walk in the truth, in the light. So, in conclusion to this video, what am I saying? I'm saying you're free, but you choose to remain in a box, or you choose to be in a place where you're not free. But you are free. But because other people are doing something, you don't want to disturb their philosophy or disturb their mentality of how they see you. Well, everybody else sees me as this, so I might as well be this. But are you happy? Are you satisfied with yourself? No, I'm not. Really, I'm not. This is not really who I am. You know, truly, I feel like I'm much greater inside than I portray myself on the outside. But you know, everybody else is looking like this and dressing like this and acting like this, reserved. And so I do the same, right? And basically, you're not doing them any favors or yourself any favors. God tells us in the Bible to use our gifts and our talents. And we would have to give an account for that if we didn't use it. Why didn't you use it, right? Why didn't you step out? I gave it to you. Why didn't you ever use it? God's going to ask that. But more so than just that, will you just please join me in the basis of going to those areas where fear is at, wherever it is, standing and looking at you and saying, whatever you do, don't do that. Whatever you do, don't act like that, don't say that, don't look like this or that. Fear is there, right? Anxiety is there, because it never tells you why you shouldn't. It just stands at the doorpost as a bodyguard saying, don't come over here. And it's a feeling. And all I'm saying is that if you go up to that feeling, it doesn't know what the heck to do with you, because nobody's ever bold enough to go up to fear. I'll tell you what happens when you go up to fear. Fear takes off. It runs from you. So many things in this life are more scared of you than you are of it. But because you never go up to it, it kind of like represents domination over your life, because you never dared to like step out in faith and say, you know, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? Show me what's gonna happen if I speak in public. Okay, what if I fumble my words? What if I stutter? What if people point at me and laugh? And it's not gonna happen, I know that. But these are the mind games and the stuff that goes through our mind and hearts that says to us that we can't do it, that other people could do it, but we can't, right? We label ourselves, oh, I'm an introvert, I'm this, I'm that. When in reality, guys, we give ourselves permission or we deny ourselves in areas of our own life. Sometimes you give yourself permission to do very dangerous things, chaotic things that are very out of the norm, and yet you reserve yourself for other things that you ought to do. And I dare to say that's warfare, man. Because if you're bold for some things, you can be bold for righteousness. So like, I was talking to my brother and my family earlier, and I was like, hey man, I want to start doing street preaching. I started to tell them I got a megaphone. I want to go out there in the streets. I want to, go public. And I want to do it with love, man. I don't want to be telling people, oh, you're going to hell and this and that. I want to be one of those preachers that tells people that Jesus loves you and he's got a great plan for your life, etc. But that aside, a lot of people, their mind thinks of street preaching like bullhorn, like you're gonna get a lot of attention doing that, and their heart starts to go like this, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna pass, because I was asking people who wants to go with me, and the whole thing there is that's what I'm referring to when I say fear, when I say all the anxiety and all this. But if you play it out, if you really unpack it, like, what are you really scared of? What's gonna happen that you cannot handle? Worst case scenario. Tell me the worst case scenario. Tell me. Cops coming up to you telling you, hey, you gotta put that away because you're being too loud. Okay, officer, no problem. What can happen? Oh, an irate individual comes up to you wanting to fight you. Man, first and foremost, I'm covered by the blood of the Lamb. I got angels, but also, like, I can defend myself. Like, I'm a man. I can defend myself. If somebody puts hands on me, I can defend myself. I'm not scared of people. So, okay, so keep coming at me. Keep telling me what's going to happen. What's going to happen? I want to know. Somebody may throw witchcraft at you. I'm covered by the blood. What's going to happen? I'm just exercising my faith here, guys. If you have faith without works is dead. If you really, truly have faith, prove it. Show it. I want to see your fruit. Like you say you believe. Go out there. Show people that you believe. Right? Don't be a person that puts a basket over the head. I'm starting to preach right now. But that's it. This is the video, guys. I just wanted to say this. That a lot of people fear stuff that is it's ghosts, phantoms. They literally don't exist they exist only in your mind. Like, well, if I do this might, like the fear aspect is what I'm referring to when I say that. Right? These fear ghosts that they give you the illusion that something dreadfully horrible is going to happen to you if you do this. And nobody ever takes the time. This is the point. Nobody ever takes the time to really dissect what the heck is going to happen. I want to know what's going to happen. Because the fear is tremendous. It comes off like it's 911, the world's going to freaking end. I'm going to die if I do that. That's the fear. Because when it comes at you, it's like, I can't do that, bro. No, you don't understand. I can't do that. It's like, okay, tell me why. No, because, I'm not capable. I'm listening. Yes, you are. You're capable. We know that you're capable. You can talk, You know what you... Yeah, but I don't do good in crowds. Who told you that? These are all things that you told yourself. But in reality, fear is something that we must go up to it and see that it was nothing but an illusion, a phantom. That's the video. I just wanted to say that when you go up to it and you actually do that thing and do some critical thinking and say, all right, man, I want to see what the big deal is. I'm scared of this, and I'm going up here to prove a point that I'm scared of this, and I want to know if when I do this thing that I'm very scared of doing, what's gonna happen? I'm here to prove a point. I'm here to show or to represent. I'm here to see. I want to see. I'm curious. What the heck is gonna happen? You know what you're gonna find when you do that, when you step out? For some people, it's talking to a girl. Like, a lot of guys are scared to talk to girls. What's gonna happen? The worst case scenario is a girl tells you, I'm not interested. Quite literally, that's the worst case scenario, right? Can you hack that? Can you handle that? Can you? Is that something that is sustainable to you? That you're like, No, man, that'll break me, bro. I won't be able to go on with life if that happens to me. You know that that's not the case. So then why don't you do it in terms of stepping out? I'm getting all walks of life into this one video because people are scared of different things. But what's going to happen if you do it? Play out the worst case scenario and ask yourself, can you handle that? If it does happen, can you handle it? Will it break you, annihilate you, take you out? Or would you be okay? Have you gone through harder things than that in your life? Have you overcome harder things than that? Chances are yes. So don't you see that it's an illusion? It's a mirage. Fear is a liar. That's all I'm trying to say. Fear is a liar.